Hi guys, welcome to Summer Equals IPL, and today we're here to count down the top three all-time players of the Kolkata Knight Riders. Now, KKR played the first ever IPL game way back in 2008, and they've been one of those franchises that have really stuck around for a long, long time and have a lot of history. They won two IPL titles. They've had some successful captains, successful players. So we're going to pick the best of the bunch and rank them. Rishi, before we start off discussing who our top three are, um, how have you taken to KKR as a side? I've always felt like KKR is one of the big IPL teams, but it doesn't match up to say like an RCB or a Mumbai or a CSK.
I mean, I kind of agree with you. They've always been an ever-present side. They've always stuck around. They're always in the fringes. But like you said, they've not never had a proper threatening team like the CSKs and the Mumbai Indians. Like it's always like one or two big players coming in, getting them out of the pickle like most of the times. But then again, they fair enough. They have two IPL titles, so I think we have to give them that due credit. But yeah,
Mhm.
they are they're a pretty ever present side for the IPL.
Adi, do you feel like KKR is a side that has overachieved with whatever players they had at the time? They probably did not have the star players like Rishi just said, but they somehow got the job done, and they've got two trophies in the bag.
I mean, yeah, I mean, especially in the 2014 IPL, I mean, you can see, it was Punjab versus KKR. So when you look at the final itself, I feel like that year IPL wasn't that great because I don't even remember what happened in 2014. I can't really recollect what happened. But in general, yeah, you can say they've never had the superstar, like that superstar player in terms of like, your Chris Gales or your MS Dhoni's, especially in finals. But they've also had like, dude, like when it comes to Gautam Gambhir as a player, is very underrated overall. Not only for
Mhm.
like
KKR,
KKR,
but for it, yeah.
yeah, in terms of cricket itself, he's been very, very underrated. I mean,
Mm.
I feel like he's been one of the most consistent players ever for India, but he was still overlooked a lot, and he basically had to retire early. But I still feel like having Gautam Gambhir as a player in your team is actually a huge thing, and that shows why like they even won two IPLs because under his captaincy is when they actually won because they struggled under I mean Saurav Ganguly, they didn't really do much under Ganguly, and then even when Morgan was there, they really couldn't do much. Dinesh Karthik was also the captain, and then he had to step back in between, and then Morgan went back to Morgan, and now Ran as the captain. You can see like under Gambhir was the only time they were very consistent, and they won two titles under him, like two titles in 3 years, especially. So
Yeah,
I would feel like as a team they were pretty good at that period, that era.
yeah, yeah.
And after 2014, they really haven't done anything. So at that
Yeah.
era, I feel like they had a pretty solid team, and they had players like Bisla coming and playing. So
So
yeah.
let us talk about Gambhir then while we're on it. Rishi, where does he rank in your top three list and does he make the cut? Of course, he's a captain who led them to these IPL trophies, but as a batter, he was obviously not the most explosive batsman, but probably an integral part of a side, like Adi mentioned. Played a huge role for India when they won the 2007 World Cup. 2011 World Cup, he played a huge role again. And of course, he's been important for KKR. You mentioned that he's also KKR's top run getter. So where does he stand in your top three?
For me, I think Gambhir comes third in the top three
Hmm.
because, like Adi said, like Gambhir is not just as a captain but as a player, he's really underrated. The fact that he's all-time KKR top scorer, and he has an average of 31, and for a batsman who's played 122 games, albeit that he's played in the he's opened most of the innings, and in fact I think he opened all of the innings. 31 is not at all a bad average. And yeah,
Hmm.
the fact that the before Gambhir and after Gambhir, the performances of KKR has not been consistent at all.
Yeah.
And some sort of like the only success they've achieved is under him that cannot go, underrated. So I think Gambhir ranks third in my list.
Adi, what about you? Where does Gambhir fall in your list? Does he make it any higher?
Dude, for me, it has to be first. Like, I don't think I don't think KKR have ever had a player apart from Gambhir who's, stay. You can say Sunil Narayan, but apart from him, they really don't have anyone who's been there for a long time. And then when you put in an IPL into the equation, you just can't take out Gambhir because, as a captain, as a franchise, KKR, relied a lot on Gambhir. Not only as the captain, like even he was almost like he was a really integral part of KKR. Now you can see him coaching also and doing pretty well with LSG also. So you can see that leadership has always been there with him, and especially taking like as you said, they didn't have like great players, but he still won two IPL with pretty decent players all around. And
Yeah,
I just don't think they've had the stability since Gambhir has left. I just don't think. I feel like when IPLs come, when we're talking about IPL top three players, you have to win IPLs to be there as a top three player, and I feel like he did that, especially for 2 years. And the whole point is like you can see how they struggle like before and after he's left, especially not under his
yeah.
captaincy. So I just feel like he's been so integral to like KKR. I feel like he has to be the greatest because like for KKR, because like they don't
Hmm.
have anyone else who's played all this well apart from Sunil Narayan. So I
For
still feel
me,
like
yeah, yeah,
yeah, I still feel like you can take out Sunil Narayan, they can replace with another. They have Chakravarti now, so I feel like Narayan's always replaceable. But that having the leadership, that pillar of Gambhir, not only Gambhir, his role as a captain and him performing and giving two titles to KKR side that's not been that great. I feel like out of all the winners, I feel like KKR is one of the most surprising winners because I just feel like compared to even Sunrisers, they had like a very good team. Even Deccan Chargers had a very good team, but KKR winning two titles is kind of surprising compared to the other franchises winning. So I
yeah.
just feel like he has to, for me at least, he has to come number one. I can't really think and put anyone else in the top spot.
So this is very interesting because now I got Gambhir at number two. So we've all placed him differently in our lists. For me, it's like a mixture of both of your reasons. I think Gambhir, of course, was an integral part. I don't think they would have won those titles without Gambhir. Versus like the Rohit Sharma argument, and I feel like Mumbai would have won those trophies without Rohit Sharma also. But I don't think KKR would have won those titles without Gambhir. So I think that he played a huge role as captain. He gave them some runs. Of course, he did. He's not the most explosive batsman. His strike rate's around 120, 125, which is a decent strike rate, not the best. But yeah, so for a mixture of reasons, for him not being a pure T20 player, and for him, the positive side being the captaincy side and the leadership side and bringing the IPL titles home, I think for me, he places at two. And I'll give you guys my list and then we'll talk about it. I've got Narain at one. Narain simply because just the impact that he created when he came into the IPL was insane. A mystery spinner at that time was something that was unheard of. We didn't have any mystery spinners. When Narain came in, it really changed the way people started to look at T20 cricket. I think, yeah, now he's replaceable because he was a guy to start, this trend of having like mystery spinners on your team. And he was the first of the many that you see today. And he's almost like a revelation to T20 cricket. Without Narain, like you would miss a huge facet of T20 cricket. You would not have the Suya Sharmas, the Varun Chakravartis today if you did not have Sunil Narain coming in 2012 and bowling the way he did. And with all the troubles he's faced with his action and things like that, he still kept going and is still successful till date. He's still one of KKR's most important players. For these reasons, I think I placed Narayan at one. And not only like bowling those crucial overs, he was very handy with the bat for a few seasons when he used to open the batting as well. So for these reasons, I don't think you can leave Narayan. You can give Narayan any other spot. I think he is one, and Gambhir too. And for me, the third place finish is very interesting because it's between Robin Uthappa and Russell. But Rishi, you obviously put out some stats which are very interesting. Russell is the second highest wicket taker for KKR and third highest run getter. With being in that sort of position, you just can't leave Russell out. So I have Russell at three, and Uthappa is my fourth, and very close to Russell. Rishi, what's the order for you?
For me, it's Gambhir third, second Narayan, and first Russell.
Oh, okay, fine. Now this is going to be interesting.
Really interesting.
Yeah, okay.
So Narain, for me, definitely, like you said, he came in as a mystery spinner. For all the difficulties he's faced with his actions, but to be honest, he's never won a purple cap.
Yes.
Like, no, he hasn't won a purple cap
Absolutely.
yet. No,
No, I think I
the
but he
he
was that one. He was that. But Rishi, he was that kind of bowler who was tasked with bowling. Like batsmen wouldn't take risks against him. His economy is
right,
6.7, which is
yeah,
incredible. Like he's to have it. I don't know any other bowler who has an economy under 7 in the IPL. Malinga has gone for over 7. Bumrah has gone for over 7. No, no, I don't know any other bowler who has an economy of under 7. And if there is,
overall.
like, then
Oh,
yeah, yeah,
okay.
overall,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So
Fair enough.
I think that's mind. Of course, like T20, a huge part of T20 is keeping the runs down, and he's done that.
Hmm. I mean, fair
Hmm.
enough. Be that as it may, I think the only two spinners to win the purple cap are one is Imran Tahir and one is
Chair.
Pragyan Oja.
Again,
Chair was
Ojaya
one.
in
Yeah,
2009. Yeah,
Chair was
bowled
the one
before
that won.
Narain. So
yeah,
it's not that Narain came in and did something entirely revolutionary. At least in my opinion, definitely he came in and he grabbed the bowling unit by the neck, and took charge of the bowling unit. But yeah, I mean, it's not like he was completely devoid of all kind of good bowling performances. He had the likes of Brett Lee and others who could really contribute to the ball. But nonetheless, he
yeah.
was really, yeah, like he really tied down the runs from one end, and his contribution with the bat is, of course, that was something we had never seen before. Someone of like a
Yeah.
lower order, an extra batsman who could just come in and like provide those extra runs in the power play. So
Mm.
definitely his contributions are not going unnoticed. But for me, the impact that Russell had is far more, not far more superior, but definitely superior than Narayan's.
Okay, Adi, are you placing? Where are you playing Russell and Narayan?
Dude, I mean, it's kind of tough because I feel like both of dude, that's the thing. When it comes to the third player, I don't think I would go with Russell for sure because like Narayan was there when they won the two titles as
Yeah,
such, and plus especially to be fair, when Narayan came in first, he was one of those spinners where I used to be scared to like even watch him
same.
play
I
because
still am. Genuinely still am.
dude, that's the thing. Like, yeah, exactly. I remember he used to come and ball in the power play overs. I don't think anyone else used to come and ball in the power play overs like him.
Yeah,
Apart from Ashwin, I don't think any other spinner used to come
yeah,
and ball in the power plays. And he used to always be the one who used to get, the top three out for us. Like, Gale, AB,
yeah,
Virat, he used to
yeah.
always get them out like most of the times, especially,
Yeah, he was a danger guy.
yeah, exactly. And he used to be so economical. Like he's literally been over the past 3 years, he's been above 8, but before that, he's always been around the six cards thing. And when you put in those things, yes, he's been like the top player, for KKR. So I feel like he has to be, around the top two spot. And if it's between like Russell and Narayan, for me, it has to be Narayan. But
So
wait,
is
like,
Russell third for you?
no, he'll be second. But the thing is, dude, the problem with Narayan is he's
No, then
been
where
good.
does Gambhir sit?
Gummy was top, no, for me. For me, I feel like
Yeah,
Gummy is
so
still
so
supposed to be first.
so Gambhir is one for you. Then Narayan is two, right?
Yeah,
So and Russell's three.
exactly. But
So that
that's the thing.
settles
I don't think
the Russell
Russell's.
thing.
Dude, that's the thing. Do you guys think Russell can even come in the legend status or like
So
top
for
two?
me, I'll tell you
He's
honestly,
had
like
one
until
good
Rishi brought up
season.
these stats,
Like, he's had only one good season with
yeah,
KKR as a consistent
I
on a consistent basis. Like
I would
apart from that,
actually yeah, I agree with you. I would actually give it to like somebody like Uttapa, but he's
dude,
got the
Uttapa,
orange
yeah,
cap. He's
yeah,
won seasons.
and he
Yeah,
was pivotal in that year to win
yeah,
like
yeah,
KKR the title, and even Bisla. I mean, his this thing in the final. I feel like they've done more to
yeah,
like KKR, Jack Callis. I feel like these players have done more
yeah.
in terms of winning for
Yeah.
KKR than bro. Russell only
The,
had that
bro,
one good 2019 season.
the
Apart from that,
the thing with Russell is, and Rishi, I feel like he's in the top whatever bowling wickets categories because he bowls in the death, and you are bound to get wickets in the death. It's the same Harshal Patel argument that he picks up wickets because he bowls at the death. Like
He
you're
bowls
going
at
to
the
pick up wickets because yeah. and it's always going to be tougher for the other bowlers, like whoever it may be, like a Narain or a Piyush Chawla or whoever Brett Lees or whoever they've had for all these years. And Russell, honestly, even today, I don't, I'm not that scared of him. Like even when he came out to bat yesterday against RCB, it was not like I was honestly scared of Rinku Singh being much like more than Russell because I just feel like he's lost it, and in a way, like he's not the same Russell that he was, and that Russell lasted for a very short period.
Yeah, of
Yeah,
course. Like
exactly.
right now, the
Mm,
Russell we're talking about is like way past his prime. It's like talking about kind of like Pollard. Like Pollard's last season, he was extremely docile
Dude,
with the ball
yeah,
and with the bat as well. But then during his
yeah,
peak, there was a point where after probably AB de Villiers, I think I don't think I would have had like I would have been that scared of any other batsman. Like if they have if like there's anyone to chase down, say a 60 or a 70 from like like 4 5 overs, I don't think other than AB de Villiers there'd be any other batsman I'd be more scared of than Russell. And
yeah.
I don't think it was a very short time, probably 2 3 seasons, definitely. But he legit had that fear factor in him, like walking into bat. He has pulled out a lot of chases single handedly. So yeah, albeit that he has not won both the IPLs, but regardless, again, uh, like the legends for RCB have not won an IPL, but that doesn't mean you don't give them the
I
relevant.
know, but
point, point is we
we
can't
didn't
do
have an
anything
IPL to
about it.
win.
Yeah, like
Huh?
how does
Yeah,
that make it different?
and Rishi, like, do you think Russell is number one for you, like compared to Narayan and Gambhir, who have probably done more for the franchise, and like Narayan continues to do so, and
Uh,
Russell's first of all,
actually, I would like to make a change. I think Narayan first and Russell second.
dude,
okay, okay, fine, okay,
Russell
but still,
being Russell
I
being
think
in top is like more of an argument than being second. Like Russell,
I
bro,
actually agree with Adi.
even in his so-called prime, it was literally one season of his prime. Like 2020
Yeah,
is not that great. He was okay here there. But apart from 2019, 2020, he hasn't been that great. Past 2 seasons, he hasn't been that great. 20 even before 2019, he wasn't like that good. He used to perform 1 2 games, especially against RCB. But apart from that, he used to never be there as that big hitter or someone we'd all be afraid of.
To be
He's legit
honest,
not.
he has for a batsman who comes at like 4 down. I mean 3 down or 4 down. He has an average of just under 30. It's 29.86.
yeah,
You know, for a
I
batsman
admire,
who goes
I
to
admire
runs,
what I honestly
That's
admire what Russell has done. Like, unfortunately for me, I still think Gambhir has done more for the franchise, right? Like, at the end of the day, if you're counting KKR greats, I feel like Gambhir is one of the first names that comes to your mind. It's
hmm.
purely because of what he did. If you talk to KKR fans, like even today, I think they'll tell you that okay, under Gautam Gambhir, we won the IPL, and like that was a huge thing, and he was a very aggressive captain, and people loved him for that. And yeah, so
Hmm.
okay,
Bro,
let's keep Russ.
I feel like Uttappa has to come in third. I feel like he has more of a shout than Russell, dude.
Okay, but let's do one thing. Let's agree on one. On number one, is it Narayan? Like, are we happy with Narayan? Adi, are you happy with having Narayan over Gambhir?
I mean, if it's between like Narayan and Russell, I would say Narayan. But like if
No, it's
it's
definitely not between Narayan and Russell. I don't think Russell is.
yeah,
I don't think we're.
I don't think
Yeah,
he can be the top player for KKR. I don't even think KKR fans would think he'd be the top player.
yeah, but okay. Let's just confirm this. Is it? Are you happy with Narayan at one?
I mean, I would still go for Gambhir first, but if I
Okay,
had
Rishi,
a
are you?
choice, yeah, I would
Yeah,
still go
but would you
Gambhir.
be okay with it? But would you be okay with Narayan being at one? Is it like not a bad loss?
Bro, the thing is, only thing, bro, for me, the thing with Narayan is he's been caught a lot for chucking and his action being
Hey,
very very sus.
that's too
Bro, I
unfair,
feel
bro.
like
Like,
it's not unfair, dude. I feel like all his
no,
art,
dude.
whatever is all his good stuff he did, I feel like it came under him chucking a lot also. Because his
That's
action,
like saying
even
Murli did a lot of shady stuff, but they had skill, they had talent, and you can see it.
bro,
Like,
but Muralidharan used to know. I mean, compared to like Sunil Narayan, Muralidharan's action wasn't. that bad. Like there
How
was
what
literally
who are we to say? That's
I
my
mean,
point.
see,
Like
it
if
was
we're
so
going
clear.
by like unorthodox, Muralidharan was the
there are
most
so
probably
many,
the most
yeah, unorthodox, yeah,
unorthodox
exactly.
But
in
it
the
was
world.
not
But the thing is,
chucking,
yeah,
like
it was
Oh,
compared to
considered
no,
illegal.
the point, it was
No, no, there's
considered
no,
illegal.
no, it was considered illegal to a point like where
until
Ranatunga had to cancel a match. You remember?
yeah,
Yeah,
For
but
yeah,
that.
yeah,
not
exactly.
dude, that's the
And
thing.
that's
But they changed the laws because of Mullaidhan because whatever he did was normal and it was not deemed to be illegal after that.
the same thing with Nara. See, I think, bro,
Narayan
action
hasn't changed
problems
anything.
and no,
And I
not
think
really. Like
that's a lot, bro.
he's not made huge changes.
Dude,
Hmm.
even in 2020, he was like again had some problem issues with chucking and bro. Even
Bro,
in the game against RCB, the Virat Kohli's wicket was like I feel like that was like the clearest chuck I've ever seen in my life. That was so clearly chucking.
like I think you have to give him for the player he is, bro. Like with the skill
No, but that's
to
the
bowl.
thing. Like,
Even if you are chucking, it is not easy to bowl the
yeah, I
deliveries that
agree.
he
But I
does. To
just feel
bowl
like
those carom balls.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I feel like things like that. I just don't think he can come to the top there. I feel like if that was
Mm.
never there, I would have easily put him in my top spot. But I feel like things like that, I just don't. I mean,
Bro,
they do
I
play a
think
factor.
I think like to sitting on the outside, being not being there and being a part of these official discussions and all, I don't think we can comment on the fact that whether like he was chucking or not. And I think we
But
should
he
leave
has.
that aside. We should leave
Yeah,
that aside and decide the bowler like that he is. That's all.
dude, that's the thing. I get it. But I'm saying like things like this. I just feel like things like this where he's been done with whatever it is. I feel like that
Mm.
trumps, and I feel like Gambhir just has a better shout. I feel like to be fair, I feel like even Shakib Al Hasan should be a very
No.
good.
He's yeah, we just went through his numbers and then on.
Yeah, it is-
But bro, he
his
used to be so good during like the pivotal games for KKR. I feel like he is one of the other player who's always been there for
Yeah, he
KKR.
deserves a shout. He deserves a shout for sure. But like I don't
He was
think top
always
three.
there. Huh?
Okay, but Rishi, are you saying Narayan is at one?
yeah. I think
Okay, then
Narayan
I
is.
think Adi, it's 2v1. Narayan we're placing at
I don't
one. Gambhir,
mind.
Gambhir sits at two because we have two versus one again. And Russell at three, I don't mind putting Russell in at three actually, to be honest. Like I want Uthappa too, but like purely for
What
the
about Yusuf
numbers.
Pathan?
Yeah, Yusuf Pathan's another shout, of course. Like it's
I feel
tough,
like
bro.
Yusuf
This
Pathan was much better than Russell over his IPL career easily, dude.
and
For
number three,
KKR
I
especially.
you know what? Actually, for me, at number three is Robin Uthappa. He's won the orange cap for KKR. He was very like pivotal to their success when they won the IPL. So I'll go for Robin Uthappa. Rishi, who are you going for? Adi, who are you? Let's wrap this up.
But to be fair, Uthappa only. I mean, he's played for so many teams, dude. Like he's played for
Yeah,
what?
but he's played for five years for KKR.
He
That's
I
only.
mean, again, he came in 2014, the year they won. So
yeah.
he's been there. Like I mean, he's been there since the same time as Russell has been there. So it's not like he's been around to win both the IPLs and anything like that. And in terms of like Russell's like he has definitely had a bigger contribution to KKR, not just their IPL win, but KKR as a franchise, like as a whole. Probably Russell has had way more like like much more to contribute than Robin Uthappa.
Okay.
So
Actually, I think I'm going to turn again. I think I'm kind of convinced that Russell kind of deserves to be there.
I mean, I still don't think he can come in top three, but dude, that's the thing. I feel like that a lot of players KKR just had in that era of
Yeah,
2012 to 2014, 15,
little tricky.
who were better than Russell, bro. Like at the end of the day, trophies talk, dude. Like Russell, for whatever good he did, he's never won a trophy. And it's not like he had a bad team under like
he won the IPL, no, in 2014.
Yeah,
he didn't
14.
do anything. He didn't even play that year. I don't think he played that year.
I
Wait,
let's just check it.
2014.
Dude, he came in 2015.
It's 2014.
Did he even play that year? I don't
Where-
remember him playing
Yeah,
that
you
year.
can just check the final squad.
He didn't play the finals.
Yeah, he didn't play in the finals.
Hmm. Then I
Yes.
don't think he would have played a pivotal role in that side.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he
For me,
played
it's
that year.
between Uthappa and I think for me it's between Uthappa and Russell.
The thing is, both. I mean, to be fair, if it comes down to that, I feel like Russell, even though like Uttapa had one good season, Russell was there,
I think
He's
Russell has
he
been
had
there a part of. He's
everything
been a part
very,
of the franchise also for so long. So I think
yeah, and
he
dude,
deserves something.
I feel like if I was a KKR fan, I feel like as a KKR fan, people would say Russell because
Yeah, true,
they've
true.
they've seen him, win
Yeah,
them a lot of games, and that obviously is a huge
yeah,
factor in T20s. I just feel like what the 100 of like 42 balls also that's like some mad innings. So I just feel like he's had
exactly.
those more impact innings compared to Uttapa, unfortunately, because yeah, for KKR especially, I guess you could take
Yeah.
Russell as third.
Okay, then let's wrap it up. So we've finally decided we've agreed with on Sunil Narayan at one, Gambhir at two, and Andre Russell at three. Honorable mentions to Yusuf Pathan, Robin Uthappa, Shakib Al Hassan. So yeah, that
Owen
was the
Morgan.
all-time. Owen Morgan, I don't think so. But like, yeah, no, I don't think he did much for them. But okay, that was the KKR all-time top three. Thanks, guys.